So in this video, we're going to talk about social media for the trades. Now, y'all see a lot of what I do on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, but today I have Dimitri from Roofing Insights here. Dimitri, welcome to Texas.
Glad to be here.
You're a long way from home.
Yep.
So what I did is, Dimitri wanted to come down, so I asked him, look, can I get you in, talk to you for an interview? And actually, he's going to hang around a little while for the live. I met Dimitri at VidSummit in LA almost 2 years ago now. It was really neat for me because I'd been to social media marketing conferences before. There were no other tradespeople there, so this is really the first tradesperson I ran into there. Dimitri, what got you started on social media? Not just YouTube, but social media in general.
Cost of advertising. So sharing my story, social media is a great equalizer. Small companies can act big. Big companies can act small. It's absolutely most amazing about social media because if you think about big brands, one of the biggest issues they have, people don't want to hire big brand because they feel like they're too big for them for customer service. But big brands can act very small. And smaller companies, I always say, you're only as big as you are big on the internet. So let's say you're a $50 million company and I'm $500,000 company. But if I have 86 reviews and you have one or two,
you win.
Well, how far are you ahead of me? We're almost identical. We're like within 10-15%. So what I did early on in business, I just generated a whole bunch of reviews. I remember, actually, that was my story. We have a $50 million roofing company in town, and I joined AngelList back in the day. It was 2013, 2012, 13. And within 2 years, I beat them by amount of reviews. So when I started, they have 240 reviews. 2 years later, I have 360. They have like 355. Took me 2 years. I've been working my ass off, lots of repairs, a lot of small item tickets. So, I was doing only, maybe $2 million a year. They were doing 50 million, but I had more reviews than that. And it all that matters for me. So if you produce more videos, more comments, more content, more engagement on social media, that's what people see. They don't care how big or small. As a matter of fact, I produce content on social media that beats billion-dollar companies in my space. Like there are shingle manufacturers that have entire teams doing quality videos, managing Instagram and Facebook accounts, and they cannot touch me.
And the good thing about that, and we talk about this a lot, is those people are out selling a product. We are giving recommendations. We're teaching you how. We're teaching you the right way to do things. I do a lot on YouTube, and that's where I got started, but you're really big on Facebook, and you've really done well there in a pretty short period of time. What got you going into Facebook?
I think it was actually before I started the business, I didn't have Facebook. So my goal was to create a page for my roofing business. And that's where I realized when I went to Facebook, Facebook pretty much told me you cannot have a business page without having personal. So I created personal. My wife, she already had a Facebook. Mm-hmm. And sooner or later, like all her friends added me, starts growing. And then when I start creating content on the Facebook and YouTube, I start having all these roofers reaching out, add me as a friend. So what happens is if you bring any type of value on social media, if people go and watch any of your videos and they like it, what's going to happen is they're going to follow you. Like, who is this guy? And they're going to just follow you. You don't have to. I didn't friend a whole bunch of guys. I didn't ask them to share me or anything. Like one of the very first videos I've ever made was 5 issues with this one product, and like it was at that time for me it was viral video. It was the first video ever that I did talking to the camera. Before that I did some drone footage, I did some before and after, so I started kind of YouTube channels on Facebook, but it was the first video ever that I said, you know what, I can't hire anyone to do it for me. I have this issue for the last 6 months. My crews were telling me if I'm gonna keep selling this product, they're gonna walk away on me. They're gonna stop installing the product. And I took a camera. I said, in this video, I'll share 5 issues with this product. And what happened is roofers went just ballistic. I have like 200 views within 24 hours, have a whole bunch of friends requests from roofing community. And that was the beginning of everything that I have today.
And the neat thing is now you help other roofers, and you actually help other people, but roofers is your biggest group. We've got a fence guy out of Missouri that Will started working with, and same type thing. In the beginning, his views just went up, and it was like, does foam work? Screws versus nails, this and that. And I love it. So, if y'all hadn't seen Joe Everest, the fence guy, go over there and check him out. His stuff is really neat. Now, the night that I met you almost 2 years ago, we were talking YouTube. I was there. We were trying to grow in YouTube. It was at Vid Summit. Just walked up and happened to start talking to you, and you're a roofer. And it's like, oh my God, there's another trade person here. And there's not a lot of trade people that go to shows like this. And I think that's why it's been really easy for me and you to start helping people, because there's just not a lot of people out there helping people like us or that see people like us. What is your best video on YouTube, and what gave you the idea to do it? Because our top video, the day Will finished it, he said, look, I hate this video. He said, it sucks. Nobody's going to like it. It's our best video. What is your best, and what's the story behind it?
Sure. So I have two videos. That one is my personal favorite, and then another one most popular in channel. So most popular in channel is actually gutter cover videos. And what I didn't know when I make it, that gutter covers is way more popular search. I didn't do my research that like I do now. So I remember the day I shot it. It was my first couple of weeks when I decided to be consistent with the videos, like 3 videos per week, no matter what. So that day I did not have a topic. I'm like, what can I possibly talk about? So I have up until 11 o'clock. I have an appointment or something. So I'm like, I have to do something. Came to the office, grabbed my videographer, said, hey, it's August or September, like end of season leaves falling. Let's go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and Menards, 3 stores right around me within like 2-mile radius. Let's buy every single gutter cover from the shelves, and I'm just going to review best and worst gutter covers from big box stores. That's what I did. I lined them all up. If you go on YouTube, you type gutter guards, gutter covers, anything gutters, you're going to see my face first. So I laid them all down and pretty much gave my expertise. And my advice would be, never ever talk about anything that you don't have passion for. So for me, I've seen so many gutter covers that failed, and every time I go to Home Depot, I'm like, man, who is buying those sponges? Who is buying those horrible products? So, like I truly cared, and it shows, I think, in the video whether you care or you're just making it for the views or whatever. So I put them all on the table, review them. To this day, I have a roofing channel, and my top 3 videos are all gutter cover videos. I wouldn't know that it's even popular category if I wouldn't produce the video. And then my personal video is Roofing Marketing Guide 2019. I'm doing one for 2020. It's me reviewing 18 marketing platforms, what works, what doesn't work, Yelp, Google, websites, pretty much absolutely everything. So when I made that video, I think after 2 years, it still has like 8,000 views. And what's cool about that one, I never have a dislike on the video. And that's what I tell marketers all the time. How do you manage review 18 platforms? I'm talking about all billion-dollar companies, right. Yelp, Porch, Home Advisor. What I did, pretty much the summary was there's 9 of them that I recommend, and 9 of them I said it's trash, don't do business with them. How do you manage going on the record on YouTube and trash 9 billion-dollar plus companies and never get a dislike? That tells you, number one, you're relevant and you know what you're talking about, and 2, people agree with you. So I usually voice what everybody knows, but kind of maybe suspicious, or they want to know, but nobody talks about. So I tell people all the time, if I wouldn't be irrelevant, for example, I hate Home Advisor. So usually I get 95% likes, 5% dislikes. I guarantee you, if I go and start selling for Home Advisor, my ratio would be in reverse. It would be 5% likes, 5% dislikes. Now, you might not agree with me. You might say, well, Dmitry, but Home Advisor works for me. Yeah, you probably did 5%, but numbers don't lie. If 95% of contractors hate it, and I'm just the one who explained why they hate it, you cannot fake it on YouTube. That's one thing I'm telling you right now. If you're going to fake it, if your numbers not going to be real numbers, if you're going to make up stuff, you're going to get trashed. And I see that all the time. You have to know your numbers. You have to know your subject. So when I talk about gutter covers, I know what I'm talking about because I've removed thousands of them. That's one of the reasons that video is popular. So my best videos are my best expertise in that topic.
I love that. And as you can see, he is passionate about it. And that's what makes it really neat. People say the same thing about me. It's like, man, when you get going, you really get going. I love the plumbing trade. I love the trades in general, but I chose plumbing. What made you get into roofing? You said that you're in flooring. You had other businesses. What made you decide roofing is where my opportunity is?
Research. So I was living in Atlanta at the time, and my wife and her family is from Minnesota, Minneapolis. So what happened is in 2012, my mother-in-law got cancer. And by that time, her mom would travel, on Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays to visit us. And it was a hard year for us. So her mom got cancer. We already had 4 kids. And I told my wife, let's move back to Minneapolis. My wife asked me, what are you going to do there? Like, what do I do here? I do construction. I'll start over.
Figure it out.
But I have a flooring business for 2 years. I decided to sell it to move back. And before I moved back, I asked myself, do I want to do flooring here? Because at that time, and at this time too, I don't care what to do, guys. Tomorrow, I can start drywall company, plumbing company, flooring company. What I teach people all the time, focus on one niche. Don't try to do it all. I mean, you can do basements, but it's hard to scale. You know, if I would move somewhere, it doesn't matter what you do. Gutters, like search the market. So I started in 2006-07 as a siding installer in Minneapolis, actually. And then I moved from there to Atlanta. Now I'm coming back. So I have a lot of guys in Minneapolis who are in siding trade. So I called them up and I asked everybody the same question. Here's what I did. I would call a friend. I would say, well, you've been in siding for 15 years. If you would start today, would you pick siding? And he would say, I think I would rather be a roofer. So here's the thing. If you ask any general contractor, builders, if they would like a roofing job, nobody ever will turn down a roofing job. It's the craziest thing ever. But nobody wants to be in business because it's so competitive, so expensive. So what I realized that every GC wants to be a roofer, every contractor wants to be a roofer, every gutter guy, every siding guy, everybody wants to be a roofer, but it's a hard trade. So I'm like, well, roofing is lucrative. I like the fact that it's outside. You don't go in people's houses. My biggest problem in flooring business was liability. If you do it yourself, you have no issues. You start hiring people, now people will accuse you of damaging their furniture, like a whole bunch of stuff, walls, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go that route. I want to scale my business. I don't want to be in flooring business. I would rather be outside. I fell in love with the roofing that way.
That's a neat story. I like that. And sometimes we don't pick our careers, they pick us. You know, I got into plumbing because a friend of mine, his father and his 3 brothers were plumbers. And it just seemed like a great way for me to go. Back to social media, because me, I feel like you. I feel like I could go to any city and start a company because I know how to network. I know how to use social media. I know how to make video. I know how to do things. I do a lot on LinkedIn because I found out how to grow my community through it. Literally, it's a lot of things that you're already doing on Facebook, on YouTube, on things like that. It's video, it's content, it's getting it out there, it's getting what people are looking for. But you don't do a lot on LinkedIn, do you?
I'm active. I follow a lot of people. On LinkedIn, I usually follow like my manufacturer. So Roofing Insights, we review a lot of products. So all their sales reps are there. So I network a lot. I don't sell. So I share all my content on LinkedIn. I get a lot of marketing calls on LinkedIn, a lot of marketing messages. So my community on LinkedIn, probably the smallest, tapping internet. So if I make shorter videos, I'll always publish it on both LinkedIn, maybe IG, Instagram videos, or even Facebook. So I kind of, instead of sharing links, I just upload it direct. So I'm starting building it. So I have a small following on LinkedIn, but it's not huge.
The neat thing is, meeting him 2 years ago at this event, I realized, look, there are other tradespeople doing social media. I don't know that I've seen any other tradespeople doing it as well as Dimitri is. So that's why it's always been fascinating for me to watch him grow, look at what he's doing. Where can people get in touch with you? I know the Roofing Insights is really a closed group for roofers, but I've got other tradespeople in here. So if y'all go over there and try to get in, say, hey, look, I'm a plumber, or hey, I saw you on Roger's channel, maybe he'll let you get in. Because look, and we talked about this earlier, what I talk about in plumbing, you can take the word roofer and plug it in, electrician, plug it in, HVAC tech and plug it in. There's so many things that we can learn from each other. And that's what I love about watching him and what he's doing is he's trying to help other people just like I am. So it's really been good. But where all can people connect with you?
I mean, social media 101, obviously you can follow me, but I do teach in a school. We actually have a lot of people from other trades as well, because you're right, it's universal. So I teach business, so it's roofing-school.com, but it's actually, it's a business. So I call it roofing school because it's targeting to roofing, but I teach accounting. I teach what they don't teach in the school. So I love numbers. I teach marketing. I teach management. I teach like the very basic things. It doesn't matter what trade you're in, you can use it. I hate selling myself. Like I sell with the content. So I'll do cool video. People like, where can we learn more? And I'll show you. But obviously it's targeted for roofers, but like you said, it can be used by any tradesman.
Roofing Insights, make sure you get over there and check it out. We'll talk more later, but man, I really appreciate you being here. Talking social media is always fun. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.